Hello everyone, it's Dareon here, again with an update video for you all, this time for the month of August. So, how have you all been? Doing good? I surely hope so. I am doing great, and it is all because of you. You wanna know why? Well, we just reached 5,000 subscribers in this channel. Can you believe that? I am so happy to have you all here. It's amazing. I feel blessed. I always say the same, but it doesn't make it any less valid, you know. I always say that I'm thankful. I guess that feeling never goes away. So, you guessed right if you thought that I would start another update video saying thank you over and over again. Because I did and I probably always will. I just can't start one of these without showing some gratitude. You are all amazing to me and I gotta let you know that I really appreciate it. And seeing how this channel continues to grow, I'm super happy. I really thank you all. You're amazing and I should have scripted this part, but I didn't. Well, I couldn't call this an update video without an update, right? Now I'm really going to read some things that I wrote, because if not, I'm going to forget about it. Let's see. Okay. First one. There will be new series coming soon. I always say this on my update videos, now that I think about it. We just finished the You're Safe With Me story. It was the first series that I started, and I'm going to miss it. And I think some of you will also miss it as well. But I promise you, what's coming soon will be just as good as that one. Or even better, maybe. I'm really excited to show you what's coming. Which brings me to my next point. I ran a poll on Patreon last month. I basically threw a couple of concepts for the stories that I have in mind. And, well, asked my Patreons to choose the ones that they liked more. So I will be starting with them. Then maybe we can do another of the listed roleplays or something completely different. We will see. And the last update for this video, or maybe even an announcement of sorts, is that I am now on the Tingles app. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a free app where you can reproduce these videos on your phone or whatever device you're using. Also, if you want to contribute more, you can become a supporter. You gain access to cool options like downloading any of the videos or watching them without ads, and a lot of advantages. It's really cool. So yeah, if you want to check it out, I will leave the link in the description of this video. Those are the news for this month. Now, let's move on to the Q&A, shall we? Last time I made an update video, I gave you guys the space to leave your questions for a second Q&A. So now, I'm going to be reading your questions and answering them. This is going to be fun. Let's do this. Laura Lumford. How difficult is it to take care of your boys? Do you eat apple and ginger more often now? Or some other special treatment after you began working with audio recording? I'm actually not as responsible as I should be when it comes to taking care of my boys. I haven't changed my habits that much, but I do try to stay hydrated, especially when recording, of course. Sometimes when I'm doing a long audio, like the Patreon ones that usually last between 20 and 25 minutes. I take 1 or 2 breaks in the middle, stop for some water, and then continue. It helps preventing the voice from getting tired. Alright, next question. It comes from Florence Youth. 2 questions, alright, let's start with the first one. Do you record or make sound effects using your videos by yourself? They sound really real, and they fit in the situation perfectly. Well, thank you, Florence. Yes and no, that would be my answer. Most of the times when I have to add some sound effects like, let's say, alarms or footsteps or even background noises like city sounds or stuff like that, well, I cannot really make them on my own easily, so there are lots of free sound effects out there. You know, they don't have copyrights and stuff like that, so you can use them. Of course, I utilize them and edit them into my audios. But also, when I feel like I can make a sound effect myself, especially for the Patreon ones, if you heard them, you know what I mean. Yeah, I try to make them myself. I think it's better that way, of course. You can make it sound any way you want. So yeah, that's kind of the question. It's a 50-50 situation, I think. And the second question is, which one do you prefer? Warm, rainy day or cold, snowy day? Well, I'll take the rainy day. I think it makes the whole staying indoors a much more rewarding experience. Next one. Dina Almarie. I think I said the name right. I hope so. If not, I'm sorry. Is there anything you would say to your younger self? Well, yeah, I would tell young Dareon to not worry too much about everything. And maybe to also spend more time with friends and family. That would be my advice to my younger self. And also to believe in himself a little bit more. Second question is, what would you want people to remember you as? I would like to be a good influence. Help making other people's lives at least a tiny little bit better. If they remember me as someone who was a positive force in their lives, then I guess I will be satisfied. Of course, I wish to achieve a lot of things, but I guess that in the end, it all comes down to that. Being a good person. Do you have any talents other than creating amazing audios? Well, thank you, that's very sweet of you. Yeah, I do. I can walk faster than any other human being alive. You would say that I'm joking, but I'm not. People that come with me for a walk always have to ask me to walk slower, or they have to practically run because, I don't know, I'm fast. I just have that philosophy that when you are outside going somewhere, well, you're going somewhere. You're not just slowly walking because you like to walk. I like to get from point A to point B, so I usually walk fast. I'm not really sure if that is a talent after all, but I'm quite good at making people laugh. Alright, next questions. They come from Magdalena Bartowska. Okay, so it's a couple of them. 5 questions. What was your first ASMR experience? Oh, this takes me back a while ago. First time that I had an ASMR experience was before I knew ASMR was a thing. I was in high school, during a class of geography, yes. I remember that the teacher was making some drawings on the blackboard and she was using chalk and she had to make a lot of dotted lines. And I remember whenever she had to make another dotted line, I was like a drooling zombie right there on my seat. It gave me that weird sensation of pleasure, like thinking, come on, do another line, like I was addicted. It was the strangest thing ever. And in that time, ASMR was not a thing. There was nothing of this. I mean, I think that YouTube didn't even exist at that time. I thought that it was something that just happened to me. But then I realized that, well, it had a name and more people experienced it. It was amazing when I found out that ASMR was a thing. I mean, it changed a lot of things in me. But yeah, well, that was my first experience. Second question. Do you think about other ASMR artists as inspiration? Yes, I do. I would be lying if I say I don't. I think everyone in this community that makes content is somehow influenced by others. Of course, I always try to make original content and avoid stealing ideas from others. That's not cool for me. But yeah, to answer your question, when I see something that I like, I sometimes use it for inspiration. Yes. Question number 3. What's your opinion about ASMR? Do you think it's relaxing? I think that yes, ASMR is great. I think it's really helpful to people that need to relax a little bit, to maybe stop thinking so much about everyday's worries and troubles and all of that. I find it to be very relaxing and I enjoy both making and listening to it. Number 4. I know you play characters, even if it's a boyfriend, husband, but you sound like a psychologist. Is it just one of your talents that you know how to comfort others or give them advice? Well, I don't know if that's considered a talent or not, but I think that I am a good listener. It made me understand the different perspectives of people when dealing with certain situations or expressing their feelings or concerns. I always like to support others and give them advice, so I guess it's kind of my thing. I mean, I am not a psychologist at all, but I think that I can help in that way sometimes. And last question. Do you have your favorite ASMR tingles? Apart from the one that I shared before, I like shaving and haircut sounds. That's probably why I love going to the barber shop. You know, ASMR and haircut all in the same price. It's a bargain. Oh, and there is one more that I like, that I can make a very solid one myself. And it's ear cleaning. I'm going to make you a demonstration right now so you can all listen to this and tell me what you think. So I'm going to play with your ears now. Listen carefully, maybe you will like it as well. So, what did you think? I don't know if you liked it or not, but for me, That is one of the strongest tingles that I ever get. Next questions. Let's move on. Simba 1893. If you had to choose between chocolate and gummy candy, which would you prefer? By the way, I love your videos. They make me happy every time I listen to them. Thank you, Simba. That really means a lot to me. I'm super happy to know that you like my content and that it makes you happy. But you put me on a really tight spot. This is a very difficult question for me.
¿Por qué no los dos?
I'm a little bit more into chocolate, especially if it's bittersweet. You know, the stronger the better. Kelly Sanchez. Such a sweet boy. Oh, thank you. That was very sweet of you. Question. In the last Q&A, you mentioned that you speak Spanish. Would you ever consider doing an audio entirely in Spanish, even if it's just for a one-shot? Much love. Well, Kelly, yes, I definitely would. I think it would be very fun, and I may very well do one like that sometime this year. You know, like an experiment. A fun thing to try. It's my native tongue, so it should be easier for me to do that, right? I'm not sure if everyone will be interested in listening to me talking in Spanish, but well, uno siempre puede intentarlo, ¿no? Next question. This comes from Mili Emu. There's a trick in this name because she's Mili, I would say emo, but it says Mili Emu. You're not fooling me, girl. First of all, I really want to say thank you for your comment because there's a lot of love in these words and you know, it really warms my heart to read something like this. It makes the difference at the end of the day, believe it or not. Now I'm going to answer your question, that is, how has the whole development of a story and script been for you? Do you possibly have any tips? I'm not a professional writer, but I think I have a good way of making these stories happen. The first thing that I do is think about a concept, an idea. It's also called a prompt. After you have that premise, what I do usually is think about the characters, the listener and mine, and I start to write them. I put the characters in position and I start thinking about what happens. And it usually comes out pretty nice, pretty fun. I'm very sure that there are more people who do this kind of work that organize themselves better, but so far it has been alright to me. Next one. This one comes from Mariana Fausto. Have you ever felt alone? Lots of love from Brazil. Hey, Brazil! We're neighbors, since I'm from Argentina. Now, to answer your question, Mariana. Alone, well, no, not completely. Of course, I had my days like everyone else, where, you know, when you're younger and you just want to stay away from everyone and everything. But I didn't feel alone, like feeling abandoned or something like that. Fortunately for me, that never happened. I always had good friends, and my parents were the best parents anyone could ever have. So they always supported me, and we always got along just fine. I was really fortunate about it. Next one. Serenity Goodling asks, are you going to be doing another Kidnap ASMR? Yes, I will definitely have more audios involving kidnapping and stuff like that. Even though the You're Safe With Me series is finished by now, there will be other dark roleplays. Being restrained and taken is something that you're going to have to experience again. I'm sorry for you, but you know, I am a really nice guy. Next one. This one's from Gemma Daily. When has a loved one cried in your arms? And do you like dogs? Well, I'm gonna start with the last one because it's easier. I love dogs, and I always love them. It's my favorite animal because I don't know, I think there's a bond with your dog that it's just it doesn't happen with anything else. Now about the other question. When was the last time a loved one cried in my arms? It was last year because by the end of September my father passed away, and it was really hard to lose him because he was a really good man. Let's move on. Hyunjin asks 8 questions. Alright, we have a winner here. First question. Are you a morning person or a night person? Well, Hyunjin, let me tell you something. I am a creature of the night. I'm such an idiot. Second question. If someone told you that you were going to die in a few days, what would be your response? I'd say that my response would be to ask them how do they know that and why would I die? Maybe to try to prevent it from happening, and I don't know. I would be very skeptical about something like that. Question number 3. If you could meet anyone, living or dead, and have a meal with them, who would you choose? That's a tough one because, I don't know. I have no idea. I think I would have a dinner with Howard Philip Lovecraft and, maybe learn a thing or two and summon an ancient god. I don't know. I think it would be fun to talk with him. Number 4. You won a lottery. How would you spend all the money? Well, I gotta be smart if I do that. So I would definitely invest it, buying property, creating business, something like that. Then I would travel the world and meet new places. I think that would be what I do. Number 5. Do you cook at home or eat at a restaurant? Or both? I suck at cooking. So I'm more of a pay-for-food kind of guy. I think that's the answer to it. There's not much for me to add. What are the things that have influenced you most in life? Well, I think that my parents are the number one influence that I have. They raised me with what I consider are good values. On a second level, I said that martial arts also had a very big influence on me. Training and being able to defend yourself is something that helps you gain confidence. And you develop a stronger character. Not because you think you can kick anyone's ass, but because you learn more about yourself. And you grow as a person. It's not just punching stuff, it's knowing more about everything that makes you who you are, is understanding that you have power within you and you can use it to do good or to do evil. And there's a whole bunch of philosophy in martial arts that I think it's really good for any human being. Question number 7. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Now, I have absolute no idea where I will be in 10 years. I mean, if you would have told me last year that I'd be starting this project and having this wonderful audience at this moment, I wouldn't have believed it. But honestly, I hope I find myself with my family, doing what I love, which would be this work, to be honest. And well, I hope to still be alive. And okay, the last question. Do you have jokes to tell so that I can laugh at you? You wanna laugh at me? Okay, let's see. Here's one that I like. My new girlfriend told me that I'm terrible in bed. I don't think it's fair to make a judgment in less than a minute. Oh my god. I have another one. What do an apple and an orange have in common? Neither of them can drive. And last but not least, Fire Feather. 1. Do you like mythology? And if so, what's your favorite myth? I do like mythology, yes. And I'd say that if I have to pick one, I would take the Theseus and the Minotaur. You know, the Greek one. Favorite pizza topping? I have no idea how my favorite pizza topping is named in English. Here in Spanish, it's called primavera, which means spring, but I'm definitely sure that you don't call it spring. If you Google it and if you put primavera pizza, you're going to find out what I'm talking about. Okay, and the birthday, September 18th. So you better start making presents for me. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I don't expect any more of you. You already gave me too much. And I love you all for that. Okay, that was the Q&A. I hope I didn't bore you all to death. If I did, I deeply and sincerely apologize. And now, before we finish this video, I'm going to thank all the patrons that joined on the last month of July, so that you all know that you are very appreciated and that your support is invaluable to me. Because it truly is. I keep saying it over and over again, but you guys give me a lot of strength and love. So, the least that I can do is thank you properly. Now, like always, I'm starting this by apologizing. Because you know, I'm going to butcher your names. This is the part of the video where I put my mask and you start running. Oh my god. Seriously, please don't get mad if I say it wrong, okay? Okay, get ready everyone. My eternal gratitude and love goes to Agnes, Anna de Ivy, Ausea A, Bailey Hollowell, Colleen McMonagall, Coral Wilcox, Fetch Harvin, Chinaris Cabreras Aponte, Jamie Lee Neal, Jin Eunji, KB, Kayav, Lindsay Snyder, Lost Amazon, Luis, Maria Anderson, Michael Kennedy, Michael Little, Mishi, Millie Emu, which was featured already in the questions, I believe, Misa Amane, Gailandia Tea Brewer, Molly Broadhead, Nosy Rosie 2, Olivia Venbow, Rachel Funnel, Rose Thorne, Sane Van Holk, Seppo Pentila, Cheyenne, Storyteller Star, and Vegan Elf. Thank you all so much for being here. for being generous and helping me continue with this project. Each and every one of you are making this dream a reality for me. So I really can't thank you enough. I love you with all my heart. And of course, this message also is directed to every other Patreon that joined before, that it's still around. It means so much to me to have you here, to see that you continue supporting me every month. It's not a simple thing to do, and I really value it. So I hope you know that you are all in my heart. I will never get tired of saying thank you because it really means a lot to me. Okay, that is all for this video. I think it was a very long video, but I hope that you enjoyed it still. I tried to keep it funny and also genuine, being who I am. I'm just saying the things that I think and sharing them with you. I hope you enjoyed it and, well, I'll see you again in the next one. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. If you need anything, if you have any suggestions or you want to leave a comment, I would be more than happy to read them. Much love.